Warning: Ninja X may trigger extremist groups such as the angry white KKK leftist social justice incels who have small dick energy. Viewer discretion is advised.
This video is brought to you by SchoolTrashers.com, educating people with the truth by trashing indoctrination and extremist views since 2005.
Welcome to the Ninja X Show. Today's topic: anti-totalitarianism is a threat to the left's agenda. What is anti-totalitarianism? It is the rejection of both communism and Nazism. Back in August of 2022, before the Elon Musk takeover, Twitter considered my banner as hateful imagery. The reality is that it's not hateful imagery. It's imagery they don't like because it goes against their agenda and narrative. Vosh and Zanderhal are totalitarian breadtubers. Of course they loved Biden's speech, even though Joe Biden made himself sound like Adolf Hitler and Joseph Stalin. Yes, it is possible to sound both like a Nazi and a commie because it's the same ideology. Both ideologies are actually left-wing. The Nazi symbol itself is a symbol of National Socialism. So the symbol of socialism is the Nazi symbol. Hence why Democrats share more in common with Nazis than anyone who opposes them. Commies are fine with Democrats, just like they are with Joe Biden. They don't care that Joe Biden has said some racist crap. Leftists themselves are racist. They don't care that Joe Biden has passed laws that discriminates against black people. They also don't care that the Democrats created the KKK, or the fact that Robert Byrd is a KKK member and a Democrat. They seem to live with the hypocrisy and support them anyways. Conservatives and right-leaning libertarians, on the other hand, has consistently spoke against totalitarians. They also condemn slavery, censorship, gun control, hate, violence, riots, rape, murder, and looting. Something Democrats themselves cannot condemn because their voting base is made up of criminals and terrorists. Now, have you noticed how corrupt the cops have been lately? They always side with the rich and powerful. Right now, Democrats are the rich and powerful. Ronald Reagan said it best when he described that if fascism ever came to the U.S., it would come from liberalism. Liberalism, after all, supports big government. Conservatism is against big government. We want the government off our backs. Big government always leads to totalitarianism. Nazis and commies always had big government in their countries, stripping away freedoms from people in those countries. Basically, these countries end up being a police state. Arming the IRS is a huge red flag. Vosh and Zanderhal will never tell you the truth about what fascism really is because they are fascists themselves. All commies are fascist. They'll deny it, but the proof is in the pudding. Their support of Biden, Stalin, and totalitarianism says it all. Leftists will always lie to you and never tell you what fascism really is because all leftists are fascists. From censorship to gun control to attacking people who disagree with them, those are all actions of a fascist. Never trust a commie, never trust a Nazi, because both are totalitarians. The country of Poland is anti-totalitarian. You see them wave symbols of both anti-Nazi and anti-commie symbols. More recently, they also waved an anti-LGBTQ flag. I think the reason why they included that is because all members of Antifa are white leftist commies who are a part of the LGBTQ community, specifically the biological males who are using gender identity to identify themselves as women. Hence why there's a LGBTQ civil war going on right now, because lesbians don't like dick, which is problematic for trans women in that community because they don't like it when you reject them. Usually, biological males with small penises identify as women so they can have sex with lesbian women. They use transphobia as a guilt trip mechanism to force lesbian women into a straight relationship. They also consider it transphobia if you use the term small dick energy, because a lot of trans women have small dicks. Of course, they're going to throw a fit if you use the term small dick energy. It hurts their feelings. Lesbians and straight men share one thing in common. They both don't like dicks. This is what angers trans women, because they want to have sex with whoever they want. Hell, they got angry about a dating app that's made exclusively for conservatives. Mainly because these leftist loonies want to have sex with conservatives too. They don't like the idea of being rejected because of their genitals or ideology. They think it's bigotry to discriminate based on ideology or genitals. It's not bigotry, it's preference. I would never want to date a leftist woman because our ideologies are not compatible with each other. I would never want to date a trans woman for the simple fact that I'm only attracted to biological females. Biology and political ideology matters to me. But they want to force themselves on people they can't have because they think it's okay to force themselves on people who do not want to date them, which makes them rapists because rapists always force themselves on people who are not willing to sleep with them. Hence why I will never use gender identity to take advantage of any lesbian women, because there are some lesbian women who are brainwashed into accepting biological males as women. I don't believe anyone should force or guilt trip any woman into sleeping with them. I don't expect the left to use logic or reason to agree with me on anything. They lack the intelligence to comprehend what I am saying and realize that they might be wrong about everything they believe in. So instead of trying to debate my views, they either change the subject, they project, they throw insults, they block you, or they ban you if they're a mod on any social media website. They don't have the intelligence or mental capacity to debate me or defend their views. If they acknowledge that there is something off about their own ideology, it would drive them crazy. But for the rest of us who have truth, logic, and common sense on our side, we know better. Our brains are built to be critical thinkers. If the left refuses to see that they support totalitarianism, then there is no hope for them because their stupidity clouds their minds. So how do you get through to a leftist? They would need an open mind to begin with. If they don't have it, then they will react with anger, either verbally or physically. Either way, they're programmed by their woke teachers to react irrationally. Wokeism is a poison. It poisons the minds of people who are too gullible and ignorant to see clearly. They are often young, where the mind is the most vulnerable. When you're older, you are more likely to be wiser and mature. Your mind is as sharp as a knife when you reach your 30s and 40s. Maybe sooner if you reach 25 or 26, because I stopped being a Democrat in 2008. I was only 26 years old at that time. Some would say that I was seduced by Sarah Palin's good looks, but in reality, the things she said made perfect sense to me. The thing is, I did not trust McCain. he and Obama are untrustworthy. So I ended up voting for Ralph Nader, but I probably should have voted McCain because of Sarah Palin, because she is anti-establishment and a patriot. However, I did not vote smart in 2012. I voted for Obama because I certainly did not trust Mitt Romney at all. I should have not voted for either one because they were both bad choices. Then in 2016, I ended up voting for Jill Stein. At that time, I did not trust either Trump or Hillary, although I would later vote for Trump after Tulsi Gabbard was losing steam on the Democrat primaries. The DNC screwed over Tulsi Gabbard. She was getting censored by Google at one point. She happens to be a former anti-establishment Democrat who recently became independent, making her the most trustworthy candidate out of all the party members involved in the primaries. But it was not enough. It seems people were stupid enough to vote for Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden. So I decided it was time to look at other options. I was not impressed with the third-party choices. Then I was finally warming up to the idea of voting for Trump. After much research, I finally realized that Trump is the right candidate to vote for. Because of his policies, what he did during his time as president, and the things he actually said made much more sense to me than what social media and the mainstream media outlets were putting together against Trump. They took his words out of context and tried to make him out to be something he is not. They were also falsely accusing him of things he is not guilty of at all. So voting for Trump was the right call for me, and since then, I vowed to never vote Democrat ever again. So yes, you do get wiser as you get older. With that said, I think to truly be wise, you would have to be anti-totalitarian, because anti-totalitarianism is the true way to combat totalitarian ideas. Anyways, this brings me to my next segment, which is Social Justice Incel of the Week.
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States.
Congrats, Joe Biden. You are today's Social Justice Incel of the Week. That's all I have to say. Don't forget to share this video. Tune in next time for more truth, logic, and common sense.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.